Welcome to part 7 of remodeling our home. The kitchen was in desperate need of some new lights, so we took down the previous ones, and this fan didn't even work, so it was time to get taken down. We ended up going with the simple canless lights. Maybe we'll eventually change them out to some more unique lighting, but installing these made a big difference. It actually made the room seem bigger. And then there was light. Here's a quick update on the bathroom. The tub and tile is installed, and now we have the hardware and shower head installed. No toilet, but we do have a tub. Next, we worked on drywall and mudding. Okay, y'all, why does mudding look so easy to do, and then once you try it, it's way harder than it looks? I struggled doing just one wall, and Cody ended up having to go over it again. He said basically no one is good the first time they mud, but maybe he was just trying to be nice. I don't know. After putting on all the coats of mud needed, we then used a sanding block to smooth out those spots and prep the wall for paint. We drove over to basically our second home at this point, the wonderful Home Depot, to pick up the paint. For a reminder of what color the walls used to be in the house, the previous homeowners chose light blues, dark gray blue, and yellows to paint the walls. Now, color is such a personal choice, and we made the blues work, but I found it more difficult to add my own pops of color with the walls already being blue. We wanted a fresh, clean slate to work with, so we went with alabaster white. Alabaster is often described as a warm off-white that balances out the creamy, soft feel while also feeling clean and modern. It has just a slight yellow undertone with some gray and beige mixed in there. I'm waiting for other comments. Another young couple taking the character out of a home, getting rid of color. Well, our furniture and decor are pretty eclectic, and they have a lot of stories behind them. So this white actually makes the pieces stand out more, and it's so much easier to decorate with. Also, just a design tip for my other small homeowners community, the lighter colors help with making a space feel larger. We ended up going with the same trim color as well, just in a different sheen, satin, in order to also help with making the home seem larger. This is often called color drenching because it removes choppy boundaries like baseboards and doors, making the walls appear even wider and the ceilings a bit higher, and overall more cohesive. So basically, your eye can move across the room easier by eliminating visual contrast. I was originally thinking we would go with the color Greek Villa until I did some more research and decided it would be a little too yellow for us. I'm super happy with how alabaster turned out. I will say this though, when we first applied it, I thought, oh wow, this is going to be really white. But once we put the final coat of paint up and we put flooring in, that really pulled things together. It made it feel more cozy, yet spacious. This is how it looked as I was applying a second coat of alabaster. We learned that it was best to use a primer, especially with the darker rooms, in order to not use up as much of the more expensive paint. Home Depot ended up making a custom primer to put on our walls before applying alabaster, which really did help us not use as much paint. We finished up painting by doing some touch-ups and taking out shelves, but these little shelves, I ended up keeping the flower paper on it because I thought it was kind of cute and it added some character. And honestly, it saved us a little bit of paint. Then Cody was working on trimming and putting in the baseboard and the shoe mold. As you can see in the background, we got the house painted, and next up was ripping up the rest of the flooring in the house. I love how the color turned out on the walls, but once we get the floor in, I think the walls look even better. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for next week's episode to see how the flooring turns out.